Sometimes life doesn't break us with storms, it breaks us with silence. Imagine waking up one day and realizing that everything you once held close, your family, your home, your sense of belonging, has been taken away. The people you trusted are gone. The doors you relied on are closed. The dreams you once carried are shattered into pieces. And in that silence, you hear a terrifying question whispering inside. Who am I now without everything I lost? This is not just her story. This could be yours, mine, or anyone's. But what she discovered in the middle of her brokenness is something that can change the way you see your own struggles. She didn't just survive her loss. She found her voice. She had once lived a life many of us dream about. A warm home. A family that laughed together. The comfort of stability. But like the sudden strike of lightning on a calm night, everything was gone. First, she lost her father, her pillar. Then her home was taken away in debts she never even understood. And finally, the people she thought would stand with her turned their backs. Imagine the loneliness of those nights. No one to listen. No one to call. The world moved on, but her world had collapsed. She would sit in the corner of a small rented room, staring at the ceiling, whispering to herself, "Why me? Why this? Why now?" How many of us have asked those very questions when life hit us harder than we ever imagined? But what shook her the most wasn't just the betrayal of people. It was the silence she felt from Allah. She prayed. She cried. She begged in sujud until her forehead ached against the prayer mat. Yet it felt like the heavens were still. Have you ever felt that silence? You raise your hands, whispering, "Ya Allah, help me," but nothing seems to change. It was in that silence that she began to question herself. Was Allah punishing her? Had He abandoned her? Or was He teaching her something she could not yet see? One night, exhausted from her tears, she opened the Qur'an randomly. Her eyes fell upon the verse, "So verily with hardship there is ease." Surah Ash-Shar 94:6. She read it again and again. Her trembling lips whispered, "Ease. With hardship?" That night something shifted. She realized maybe she wasn't supposed to wait for life to give her back what it took. Maybe the ease was hidden inside the hardship itself. She started writing down her feelings. First as whispers to herself, then as prayers to Allah. Slowly those words became her voice. What she lost on the outside she began to rebuild within. Day by day she shared her reflections. First in a small journal, then with a few women who were struggling too. Her words carried raw honesty but also hope. Soon others began to listen. They would say, "Your words healed me." That's when she realized, what she thought was her punishment was actually her calling. She hadn't just lost everything. She had been stripped of illusions so she could discover her true voice. Pause, think about this. Sometimes, Allah removes the things we cling to so we can finally cling to Him. And when we cling to Him, He gives us something far greater. A purpose, a strength, a voice we never knew we had. Her story teaches us 3 powerful lessons. 1. Silence is not absence. When Allah seems silent, He is preparing your soul to listen in a deeper way. Sometimes His delay is actually His design. 2. Loss is a doorway. We see loss as an ending, but in Allah's plan, every loss hides a beginning. Just as a seed must be buried in darkness before it blooms, we too must sometimes be broken before we rise. 3. Your voice matters. No matter how insignificant you feel, your story, your struggles, your faith can become the light for someone else drowning in their own darkness. Isn't that beautiful? The very wounds you hide could be the reason someone else finds healing. She no longer introduced herself as the girl who lost everything. She became the woman who found her voice. And when she stood in front of others, sharing her journey, people didn't see her scars as weakness. They saw them as proof of survival. Proof that Allah's promise is true. With hardship there is ease. And here's the most powerful part. She realized she never truly lost anything. Because the one who matters most, Allah, was always with her. Even in the silence. Especially in the silence. So now let me ask you, what have you lost? What's been taken from your hands that left you feeling empty? A relationship? A dream? A home? Whatever it is, remember this. Sometimes losing everything is what allows you to find your true self. Sometimes being broken is what makes space for Allah to rebuild you stronger. Do not let your loss define you. Let it refine you. Raise your hands tonight and whisper, Ya Allah, don't just give me back what I lost. Give me something better. Give me my voice. Give me my strength. Give me you. And trust me, He will. Because the story of this woman is not just her story. It's an invitation. To you. To me. To all of us. Lose the world, and you might just find your soul.